Hi, everybody. So I wanted to stick with more of a collective reading today regarding relationships because that's what I've been dealing with my private phone readings that I do. And on the split, we have the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. And the Two of Cups is all about that divine love. And the Ten of Cups is one of the happiest cards in the deck next to the Sun. And that is the ultimate family card. So this message is for the single collective. And you're wondering why you keep hitting speed bumps or seeming like you're finding the same individual over and over again. It's more because you've grown, but your taste in your significant other has not. And that's where the change needs to happen in order for you to get this energy around you and to be able to have that individual that you just naturally connect with and that you naturally flow with. You have to change your standards. And by raising your bar and changing your standards, you're going to start attracting individuals and finding individuals that are more along the path that you view as mature and you view as just having integrity and being honest and things like that. So if you're used to finding love in like that Low Places song keeps coming into my head, like places like that, like bars, wineries, stuff like that. Like single people in that place are only going to that place because they're lonely and they're looking to meet somebody. So I want you to start going to places with an open mind that you're going to attract somebody on your tier, but change the place that you're going. Go to like craft shows, go to different events in your community. School events is another big one. If you have children, you want to really find somebody and have somebody find you that's on the same level with their priorities in life right now. If you're looking to settle down and start that next chapter, you're not going to find that person in a bar. You're not going to find that person in somebody that's freshly divorced. You're not going to find that in those areas. And like, and that's where the issue is. That's where you're getting that pushback. And they just seem to come in and you're out of your life very fast. And that's because they're not meant to be there. They're learning experiences, and you're not seeing the cycle that you have to break in order to be better and to find better. So, with that being said, I want you to step back and write down what you find attractive now. Because a lot of you are looking at what you used to find attractive, but you're on your healing path. So, you have to change that. You have to look for people who are honest. You have to look for people who have a 5-year plan, who have investments, who are hardworking, who don't like, we all have addictions, who don't suffer from like a drinking problem or a drug problem. Like you need to find somebody you don't have to save. And that's where a lot of you guys are messing up because you're feeling bad for these people and you're figuring out that like, okay, well, maybe they can be better for me. Maybe they can change. If they're this old and they still haven't changed, then they're not going to change. Like you're waiting for your ships to come in, you're waiting for that person, but it's not happening because you're not changing your environment and you're not changing your standards. If you want to be put on a pedestal, you have to put yourself on that pedestal so that people see that energy, so that people are attracted to that energy. Yes, it's going to attract some moths, but that's where you need to use your intuition and you need to use your discernment to just work through those red flags, work through those people who are no longer serving your vision of how you want to live your life. Like, and these people will come in fast. It's just you have to do that little bit of work of changing your perspective, because right now you feel like you're at a loss, you're lonely. Like maybe you have gotten out of a very toxic relationship and you're just trying to progress forward and find your happiness. And it's going to come out of nowhere. And I'll tell you that right now, it's going to come out of nowhere. And but you have to block the people, places, and things that no longer serve who you are. And that might sound repetitive, but that is the biggest thing whenever we are progressing forward into living the life that we want to live. We don't want to keep ourselves in a mental prison. We want to progress forward where we can be our true self. We don't have to adjust who we are, like to appease somebody else. Like we want to be listened to, we want to be respected. So look for people that are looking for the same characteristics as you are. And that sound might sound a little cliche, but it makes a lot of sense when you really sit down and think about it. If you're going to the bar and you're looking for love, you're not going to find love, you're going to find somebody that you need to heal. And that is a gender neutral statement. You can take it as as it resonates. If you meet somebody in those type of after hours environments, it's never going to work out the way you want it to, because the healing's not there, because people who are on their healing path aren't spending their time in a bar. They're not wasting hours and stuff like that. Like they have investments, they have multiple jobs, they have a house that they're remodeling. Like those are the characteristics that you need to deem attractive at this point in time in your life. Not, oh, I feel bad for so and so, they're sitting here all by themselves, they just need somebody to love them. No, you're going to just keep going through that same exact cycle until you break it. So, and then, yes, we got the death and we got the Queen of Swords on the split. So this is definitely a whole new game for you to be playing. Like this is going to cause, you're going to need to stand in your boundaries. You're going to need to keep that sense of integrity for yourself and really learn to trust your intuition to filter out who's good for you and who's not. But we also had the Hermit card there for a second, and that's telling me that you need to go inward. You need to spend a little bit of time alone. Like if you're single and you have been single, maybe you haven't been doing the work to attract somebody that actually feeds into you and pours into you the way you pour into them. And that's where you need to make those changes. That's where, like, we got the High Priestess, like, and you know this, you just need to slow down and listen. You need to take the loneliness out of the equation and pick up a hobby that takes your mind off of this situation of being single and whatever. And you never know, in that hobby you might meet somebody who loves the same things that you do. And that is, instead of trauma bonding and like starting the relationship talking about what so and so did to you or why you broke up or this, that, and the third, you're talking about positive things like the stuff you have in common, movies that you like, music, um, like food, home decor, things like that. Like those are really where the relationship starts expanding. That's where things start taking off in the best direction. And that's where you're really going to start oiling that wheel of fortune in the direction that you want it to go. It's not going to look like somebody sad by themselves, like, because people who are successful in life aren't sad and by themselves. If they are by themselves, they're by themselves doing something productive that's going to push them ahead. Like we have the Empress card, they're nurturing themselves, they're nurturing their life. And that's exactly what you should be doing. Like, don't play the victim that you're sad and lonely and single. Get up there and make the differences in yourself to start attracting that person and to meet people through positive things and to have positive conversations and to build a happy life and a happy relationship off of something that's truly divine, that truly lights up your life, that you don't have to second guess. And so many people, like, they don't want to do that because they get familiar with how they're finding their relationships. They get familiar with those environments and it's not panning out how they want to. And then they literally just repeat that cycle forever. Or sometimes they do meet that person in their life and they're not emotionally mature enough to accept that energy at that point in time. So then that relationship falls apart from your own doing because you are seeing past relationships in a relationship that has absolutely nothing to do with that scenario anymore. And that could be what's causing the delays too, is you're not doing your work. You're not putting down your painful burdens to move forward, to be able to accept that kind of relationship, which is honestly the relationship that you truly want. Like, you're not going, like, that's just not going to work out. Like, you can't have somebody who is on a different energy level than you in your life without some type of chaotic feedback. It's like bouncing two magnets off of each other. It's just not going to work out, and it's going to end up being more of a karmic learning cycle than an actual happy experience. And we don't want to do that anymore. We want to transition forward into actually finding that real love, finding, and love is a broad spectrum word. Like, it could be acts of kindness, it could be physical touch, there's so many different variables for it. And that's why you need to expand how you view it yourself, from looking at people from only the outside and maybe figuring out who they are on the inside, and moving moving past that high school based honeymoon phase, how the relationship, like what the movies portray it as, like that's not real. You have to find somebody that is a positive influence on you, and vice versa. Every day you raise each other up, but you also understand that every day is not going to be perfect, and there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. And like with the Page of Pentacles here, like it's there, that manifestation, and it's just, you have so many steps that you need to do before you can jump into that relationship, and it'll move faster once you start doing the work. Like, you might be complaining that you're going to be alone forever and this, that, and the third, but you're not going to. See, we got the Lover's card. You just have to work on yourself. You're waiting for those seeds that you planted to grow. Well, in the process, like in the time that you're spending waiting, go do something positive. Put yourself out there. Let yourself be around new people, places, and things, so that you can absorb a different kind of energy, so you can meet that person. Because the only person in this equation that is preventing themselves from finding that divine love is you. You got to do that inner work to get you to that level. And yeah, some relationships really are karmic lessons, but in those karmic lessons, we figure out what is for us and what is not for us, what we want for ourselves, what we look for in a relationship. And sometimes it's like mixing oil and water. Sometimes it's not going to work out the way you want it to. And but you learn from there. You learn respect for yourself. You learn that you don't want those types of characteristics in that person anymore. You want somebody better, somebody that's not going to treat you like that. So yeah, these karmic cycles are not a good time, but you're learning from them. And that's the whole point of this journey into finding ourselves again, is to just that, find yourself and be able to step back and see that not everybody's for you. Maybe they're there for a reason. So we got to work on ourselves, so that the reason people enter our lives are because they're divine gifts to help complete us, not divine karmic cycles. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. Tune in next week to listen again. If you would like to book a private reading with me, please find me on Facebook at Nickie the Psychic, and there you'll find the links to all my social media and my website as well. I appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. Big shout outs to my sponsors, Rock Bottom Jewelry and Engraving. They are located in Westmoreland Mall in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. You can visit their website at rockbottomje.com. Also, Autumn, the owner of Just Breathe Holistic Wellness, which is where I'm filming from, and her holistic center is located in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great night.